All right, in this video, we're talking about how do you create a simple plan that helps you to maximize your time with the company. First of all, you need to understand that I'm a real person that works for a real company. I'm a Class A truck driver, been doing it for 4 years now, loving every minute of it. But I wanted to teach this kind of teaching to inspire people to really see some of the things that I see, when I'm working for these companies. This is exactly what I go in and this is what I'm thinking about, because many employees don't understand that the day that the company selected you for employment, they already had a plan in mind on how much your efforts would make for the company. They already had a simple plan for your time with the company. But many times, most workers go into the company so happy to have a job that they spend their time with the company just with a worker's mindset, meaning that you do just enough to get the paycheck and the bonuses and stuff like that. You want a good job, you know what I'm saying? So, but what I'm saying is the downfall of that is that the company gets what it wants from you, whether they fire you or whether you retire. But many times, most workers never really get what they deserve out of the company. They leave with a bunch of regrets and a bunch of sorrowful stories. We have plenty of them. So, what I want to do and what I'm aiming to do with middle class mindset is to really stop workers in their tracks and really check them in a sense of saying, hey, if you're going to work, make sure you get out of that thing what you need to get out of it, whether it's working to get yourself to a stable position, or working to buy a asset, or working to save money, or to put, whatever you're working for. I want you to have a strategic plan on how you're going to get there, because you need to understand the company has already got a plan. That's the reason why they hired you. The resume and stuff like that, those are things they are formalities. They are looking for a particular type of person, and they bring you in to the company with this feeling like you're privileged to work there. They want to get you in that mindset to pacify you and hope that you become a good worker. Now, I want you to be a good worker, but at the same time, I want you to partner with the company, not just work. So these 6 tips that I'm giving you, I believe it's 6. Let me see. Correction, 7. You get a bonus, 7. So these 7 things that I'm going to give you, it's going to help to give you a blueprint of a simple plan that you go through, so that as you're working for a company, or if you've been on a company for a long time, you start checking this list to see if you are getting those things that is due you from the company, because you don't want to just leave with just a pension or a retirement or a 401k. There's plenty of other benefits with the company if you know how to play the game right? Okay, so this lesson is going to help you get into that right mindset uh, of the employee that actually knows how to play this game called working, right? Okay, so step number 1, key number 1 to creating a plan. The first thing you need to do when you're creating your plan is keep in mind your start date. Now, whether you're starting with a company or you've been with a company for years, the people who are starting, document that time. What day did you start? How did you feel when you start? What was the mindset that you had on that particular start date? So you need to document that. You need to document how you felt, what you wanted for the company, what you saw the company doing for you. You need to document that, because many times people will work, and more tenured employees will tell you over time, you totally forget how you felt when you first got hired. During that first time when you got hired, what they call the honeymoon season, you forget it because many of them don't have it wrote down, and you go through ebbs and flows of good days and bad days, that all of it just lumps into this whole big blah, your job becomes just that place that you have to go to. I mean, it's nothing exciting about it. See, these people don't have no plan. So what I want to help you do, number one, get keep keep your start date in mind. Document, write down what your start date is, how you felt about it, what was your mindset going into it, what did you want to achieve with the company. Those of you who have been with the company, let's say you've been with the company for 5 years or more, go back, think about what did you want before you became who you are now in the company. What did you want? All right. The reason why that's important is because the company already knows what it wanted from you. Most employees just think that the company has you working and they give you this paycheck and it's an even exchange. It's like, listen, the paycheck that they give you, you have made the company 10 to 12 times more than what they paying you as a employee. You are paying, they are 10xing on your effort, which you don't understand. You think, oh man, they gave me this raise or they gave me this bonus. Yeah, if they gave you a sign-on bonus, they're gonna make 10 to 20 times more off your efforts the longer you're staying with the company. So if you stay with the company 5 to 5+ years or more, they made a lot of money off of you. Now, that's a right thing, but you need to understand how that game is played, right? They not just your friend, they not just your family, we not just cool. It's a business exchange. It's two partners going into business together on a certain level, right? Okay, so you want to keep your start date in mind and you want to document it. Okay, number two, you want to think about how long you want to stay with the company, right? Okay, now we just said the start date. You want to think about, you want to keep your start date in mind, but you want to go immediately into how long do I want to stay? It's funny. It's like this is your first month with the company, and you already thinking how long you want to stay. Now it seems like I'm trying to train wreck your thinking or to train wreck, your plans with the company by saying think about how long you want to stay. It feels like I'm saying, hey, don't get caught in a rat race or trap or anything like that. It's like, yeah, some of that is correct, but when you're going into something, if you're not really keen on how long you want to stay there, you will tend to stay longer than you should. And you will miss the opportunity to either move up in the company or move or be promoted out of the company when your season shows up. I mean, let me give you an example. When you go to the grocery store or any event, you kind of already have a knowledge of how long you're going to be there. Nobody goes to the grocery store and live in the grocery store for 3 4 days. You would kind of think like, wow, that's real. I mean, why is this guy walking around aisle 10? You know what I'm saying? It's been 2 3 days now. It's like when he don't know how long, he's just in there. This is how most working class people are working. You are just working. You have no end in sight. You don't have any of that because you feel like to think that way is sabotaging your success with the company. But listen, it's not. This mindset helps you to understand when you are overstaying your welcome. Now, if you go and look at this video with Amazon, Amazon has made it a practice within their company to turn around employees on a constant basis. Amazon does it. They hire employees, pay them a little old bit of amount, use their efforts, and then find a way to fire them and bring it and cycle more people. See, they're profiting off of this kind of thing. But people go into these companies, and you get exposed to these dirty little tricks that the company does. But it's like the reason why they're doing it is because they're thinking in a way that you should be thinking. You go into the company thinking friendship. They're going into the company thinking, slave wages, right? You know what I'm saying? If they weren't thinking that, why do they take so long to give you a raise? or when it's time to promote you, or when it's time, why you got to go through all of these hoops and stuff like that. It's like, man, that we're not thinking the same. That's all I want you to see. So when you go in, think about, how long do you want to stay with this company? I don't care what company it is. If you are not the CEO, you need to be thinking, how long do I want to be here? Because so when you allow yourself to move into that kind of territory, you build up this defense mechanism within yourself to realize, like, hey, if I don't want to be here, I don't have to be here, right? But what most people do, they get financially stuck in some kind of way and be like, oh man, I gotta be here. Whatever kind of thing that keeps you there. But you want to think about that, right? Tip number 3. After your start day, you got that in mind. You're thinking about how long you want to stay. Now, this is a strategic move. Number 3. You want to set up accounts and other accounts to start catching the benefits, the money, and the different things that you're doing with the company, right? So you got your regular household savings and checking accounts, what you pay your bills out of, and you store up your savings for household emergencies and stuff. But you want to have accounts outside of that, not just your 401k. You want to get you a IRA or Roth, and then you want to get you a couple of more savings accounts, maybe somewhere else. See, listen, I have 3 savings accounts other than the savings that I have regularly in my home. Why? Because the money that I'm getting, I'm putting in places where it's out of my reach, so that I can automatically have money stored up in places that I don't commonly look at. So when you set up these accounts, you're already setting up houses and vessels, so that when your money starts to go in these different places, you'll have some money that you can reach and some money that's a little bit out of your reach. But all of it is aiming towards making sure that your situation is stable, right? There's many people who have gotten fired, broke, don't have a savings account. They got to go and find another job and start completely over. Listen, I have been in those shoes before. I have got fired before, and in being fired was homeless. I mean, went through a whole lot of backstory. One of these days, listen, in the comments, if you want to hear some of my backstories, I'll tell you some stories that I've been through, especially when I was homeless, and I'll share those things with you. I don't share them as much because I don't feel like they're uh relevant to what I'm saying, and you just want to hear the tips, not necessarily my backstory all the time. So, I mean, if you want me to share it, hey, put it down in the comments. I'll do a video talking about the history of different things that I've been through and how I overcame it. Okay, so you set up these accounts. You setting them up because you're already thinking, I'm going into this company, and this company is going to pay me this much an hour, this much a week, or bi-weekly, this much a year. So I'm going to set these accounts up right now, so that as the money's coming in, I already know where to direct it. One of the biggest things that keep most middle class people from reaching financial stability is because they don't have systems set up outside of the company, that you can communicate to your wife, you can communicate to your husband, you can communicate to different things what the plans are, because you're going to need more than just your personal checking account and savings account. That's not the complete play, because your checking account and your savings account is something that's in your reach. And if it's in your reach, many times we're going to do the exact same thing that other middle class people do. We're going to spend it before we get it, and then find a way to try to work out, in a way that we can cover our ignorance. It's like, no, you don't want to play like this. But see, because the company is not playing like that, right? The company is playing for its best interest in mind, not your best interest in mind. So you got to already set up systems for your best interest, right? So you want to set up these accounts and other things to be able to catch that benefit. When it comes on the medical side, you want to already schedule time in with the doctor, time in with the dentist. You want to make sure you get everybody in the house uh, through that whole medical system. If the company is paying for it, especially if you got good insurance, you want to make sure everybody, the cat, dog, everybody go. Because that benefit is actually helping you long term. But you wouldn't believe most people will work for a company and never go to the doctor. And you got good insurance. Won't go to the doctor. Won't go to the doctor. Going to the doctor, getting yourself checked out is the same thing as saving money in your 401k. It's the exact same thing. If you're too sick when it's time to retire, then the 401k is going to go to your health. But what if you had good health and you had a healthy 401k? Now you just use that money to go and do some of the things that you enjoy. You see, so those things go hand in hand, man. Hand in hand. You want to take advantage of every resource that you can while you're at this company. But this is a plan to show you how to maximize your time, whether you with the company 1 year or you with the company 20 years. You want to know in that time frame, what am I going to do? What am I going to get out of it? You need to have that rolling around in your subconscious. Is because when you're not conscious of what you want, you can only accept what they give you. I'm gonna stare at you a little bit just so they can register. Okay. Number 4, you want to capitalize on the basic benefits of the company, the medical, the 401k, gym memberships, discounts, uh, scholarship programs for your kids, or whatever benefits that you find out that this company offers that can help your personal life. You want to capitalize on that. You want to capitalize on that because one thing about good companies is that uh, they may have their own agenda in mind, but they got to have those little sweet treats around in order to keep you working and to keep you feeling like this is a good place. One example, and I've looked this up on the internet, it's hilarious. It's like a lot of people are excited working for Google, right? And I believe Google is a great company, and Google has it to where they will serve dinner, but they serve dinner later in the evenings and it's free, but you're working all day and you're thinking, oh, man, I'm gonna get a dinner in the evening. But if you're starting at 7 a.m. and dinner is at 8 p.m., you know, they're just doing it to keep you in the office working longer, right? So even though it's a sweet treat, they're trying to set up something good. They're doing it in a way that's kind of benefiting them more. So you need to already kind of be thinking that they're thinking that. So when you're capitalizing on basic benefits, you're capitalizing on them immediately because you don't know how long you're going to be there. You don't know how long you're gonna be there. When you have a company with great insurance, great dental, great vision, you want to go ahead and capitalize on it because you don't know. And the longer you're there, you need to capitalize on it every single year, every single month. You need to squeeze all the juice out of every single piece of fruit that they give you. Now, I know this attitude that I'm taking sounds very like come on, man, you ain't got to be this intense. You can throw a stone in any direction and you will find a broke, struggling middle class worker that's got a good job. There's truck drivers making close to 6 figures or making 6 figures that is still struggling to pay their day-to-day bills because they think in their mind, because they make this high income, that they don't have to have a plan, that they can just go and just work this job and just make the money for their party night. It's like, dude, you can't do that forever. This plan helps you to realize, like, listen, I'm going to condense this stuff down to a short period of time, that if I'm with a company from 1 to 5 years, in that 5 years time, if I achieve the goals that I set out to do after the 5 years, oh, it don't matter what the company does. I mean, they can downsize, they can fire, they can promote. It don't matter. See, when you come in the company with that kind of energy on you, believe it or not, that makes them want to promote you more in many ways. Many people fail to be promoted because they're too desperate. You want the position because you need it. You need this income bump. You got this fiending kind of feeling about you. It's like, see, that's what stopped you from getting promoted, dude. You too desperate, man. I want to help put you in a position to where if they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. It don't really affect your personal life because you got your stuff together and you're doing things in a way that most middle class people don't do, because most middle class people work just to be working, don't have a plan, thinking that the 401k is the end all be all. And it's like, listen, if you don't have something bigger and better than the 401k, you're going to be greatly disappointed when you get that age and realize that money was good when you first started. But now that you're this age, you're going to probably need twice as more than that to survive for as long as you're going to live. You need to understand, you need to play the game bigger. That's all I'm saying. We need, this plan is to help you play it bigger, to understand that, listen, I am partnering with this company. I am not their friend. This is not my family. I do it respectfully and ethically, but we are in a partnership. You're trying to get the most out of me, and I am definitely trying to get the most out of you. Let's play. You know what I'm saying? Let's get eye to eye with them, man. You feel me? What I'm saying? You getting this energy? Just do this. All right. Number 5. Think about how you want to make more money on the job. After you have squeezed all these benefits, think about how you want to make more money on the job. All right. Many times people get on jobs and they make friends and they get good at driving forklift, or they get good at driving this, and the supervisor gives you these little perks to where you don't have to work as hard. And it's like, listen, whenever somebody give you perks that don't equate to money, dude, don't celebrate that. Don't be, oh, they gave me a t-shirt, man, they told me I can go to lunch, instead of 30 minutes, I get an hour. That still didn't equate to money. Money is money. So you need to be thinking about, if it ain't money, it ain't money. So how can you make more money on the job? This is one of the starting places I look at. I look at the high performers on the job, and I look at what benefits are these high performers getting. Then number 2 thing I look at what are the seasons of overtime with this particular company. Do they have overtime all year round, or are they more busy in the summer? Are they more busy in the winter? What are the high volume times with this company? Because when I know those things, I know where the money is going to intensify, and you want to capitalize on that. And number 2, you want to always keep in mind about different promotions and within the job that is coming. Now, when it comes to being promoted, go to that board where they have the bids and all this stuff and the upcoming positions and different things like that. When you see a position you want and you're interested in, keep it to yourself. I know you got people on the job that you feel like that you cool with, that, hey man, I'm gonna run this by so and so, see what he think, man, because I need, a friend to give me. Listen, you better keep that stuff to yourself. You know what I'm saying? You better go home and talk to, somebody that's not on the job. You better do it that way. There was many times there was promotions that I wanted, that I qualified for, that I went and I told a friend on the job and whatever, and the friend just him and her, hey, yeah, Starsky, hey, yeah, I think you'll be good. Come to find out, the time that I'm telling him, when I go on lunch, he goes into HR, applies for that position before me, gets his name in. And so while I'm figuring it out, this guy is already in the process of being promoted in the position I just literally told him about. I'm trying to tell y'all, man, people will play dirty in certain times, you know what I'm saying? But it's just a doggy dog thing in some instances. But when you're trying to get more money in the company, don't share that with everybody. Don't clue everybody in. It's everybody's duty to find out for themselves. Do not become a seeker for everybody. Do not be the type of person that go out and run and grab the information and get the wealth and get the golden egg and the treasure, and then you want to run back and try to tell everybody where the treasure is. Hey, don't do that, because they will sabotage and poison the well for you. All of a sudden they will be going up and you will be stuck. And you would think like, hey, these people are gonna look back and they're gonna remember me and they're gonna want to pull me up. No, no. Working class people are not like that. It's it's not like that. You can't blame them, but I'm just warning you in advance. Think about how you're gonna make more money on the job. Pay attention to them cycles. Keep it to yourself. Just grind to yourself. When people start getting nosy, Starsky, I see you working 6 days all the time, just say something simple like, hey, I just like to work, keep it on, keep it moving. Don't say, hey, I'm working 6 days, man, because they said this and they gonna give me this. Don't say that. They will go right behind your back and steal the benefit from you that you just told them about. I'm warning you. Now you hear me. Okay. Number 6, think about how much money you want to make now outside the company. Now, if you're going through this plan that I'm telling you, you starting to get some things set up. You starting to get into this mindset. You want to be able to not just make money with this company. You want to start taking your money and making money outside the company. I'm talking, you see what I'm saying? You want to make it outside the company also. You want to start taking this thing outside. Now, keep in mind, as you're doing it, do not share this with a whole lot of people. Make gangsters move in silence, babe. You know what I'm saying? So listen, keep it there, But think about how you want to make money outside. What if you worked a lot of overtime for a season, got up enough money to get into this business venture, or you took a loan out from your 401k and bought your first rental property or something like that. But listen, keep this stuff silent. Get your stuff working, get a good momentum going outside the job first. Once you get money rolling for you and that money is solid on a consistent basis, then you can go and tell somebody, hey, yeah, I got this going. But while you in the process of getting it going, negatory. Don't do it. Don't do it, because people will sabotage your success, whether consciously or unconsciously. Because when a person is not ready to go higher, they will pull you down thinking that they helping you. They will pull you down because they're afraid of heights. It's like you ready to fly and stretch your wings, and this bird here is pulling you down. Oh my God, don't you go up there. It's like people will do that consciously or unconsciously. So just keep this stuff to yourself. Write down this plan in a journal. That way you can keep it in mind, all the things that I'm saying. So think about the money you want to make outside the company. There's some good stuff. You still vibing with me? Okay. I say it a lot. I say it a lot. I try not to make these videos too long, but I do want to be able to thoroughly explain what I'm saying so that you can get a picture and an idea of how I am, how I teach, and different things like that. And if I'm what you're looking for, hey, listen, don't sleep on that. Stick with me, because if you vibing with me, I'm meant for you, right? As you notice, nowhere in this video did I say like and subscribe or anything like that, because I believe that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. That I'm gonna appear to people who are ready for me, and I'm not going to do that whole thing where you try to get people to draw close to you that's not meant to draw close to you. I'm not for everybody, but I'm for somebody. All right, last one. Last one. Okay. Tip number 7. Ask yourself, if you have gotten, ask yourself this question. I want to say it right. I got it wrote down here and I can't see it good. So anyway, ask yourself, if you have gotten all that you can from the company that you're with. Now, whether you're starting or whether you're a tenured employee, ask yourself, have you gotten all that you got that you need to get? You know what I'm saying? You tapped out with this company. You ask yourself this question: are you tapped out? I've worked for companies that made being a that made having seniority with the company, they made it like a upper echelon thing, like it was just, like they was putting, the medal of bravery on you, and people walked in and they talked about, how many years they were with the company, and because they was with the company so many years, they got little perks, they can leave early or something like that, they wouldn't get rolled up, or the management left them alone, those kind of things. And so because they had those benefits, they just took that as saying, "Hey, man, I could just sit here forever and just ride this out." It's like, dude, that right there is such a it's a lame play. It's like if the, if if seniority was actually worth something, it would be a check behind that. Listen, only money is money. When they give you all these honorariums and honorable mentions and different things like that on the job, listen, if it's not putting physical money in your bank account, don't glorify those types of things. But you have people on the job that do, that will stay in a position that they not unhappy with, that they done hit the ceiling already. They won't move because, oh man, I don't want to go to another company because I'll lose my seniority. Before I became a truck driver, I was working for this company, and had a great reputation with the company or whatever. But I would just tell them, hey, I just went to school, got my license, and I want to be a truck driver. The first thing out the manager's mouth to me, the first thing, making sure my mic is on, the first thing out of his mouth was, oh man, if you leave, you're going to lose your seniority. I just looked at him kind of sideways, like, what does seniority have to do with my bank account? Just you mentioning that, I felt so insulted for the simple fact that, dude, I don't care nothing about no seniority, man. It ain't paying my bills. I cannot go to my my gas company, my light company, and say, hey, my name is Starsky. I don't have the money right now, but I got seniority with my company. It's like, this is how these companies are positioning this and programming workers in their mind. They're putting this in your mind, this seniority thing, and it's a form of deception, man. It's a form of passivity, man. They're nullifying you, and you got people who will introduce themselves in that way. Yeah, you need to come and work for this company right here that I work for. I'm seniority. It's like, yeah, but they've been paying you the exact same salary every single year. They gave you a title without any money behind it. And they have pacified you, but you don't know it. So listen, I don't want that to happen to you. Listen, when you understand what your plan are and what your goal is for when you at a company, listen, if the company is not allowing you to hit your goal, hey, It's time to break loyalty. What a word company that you're with right now, you know, because you may have hit a ceiling. And if you have hit a ceiling, you just need to come to grips with it, accept it, and realize that there are more options out there for you. Listen, this is not the only good company, and this is not the only company that pays well. There's plenty more, and maybe it's your time, maybe to take your venture into doing your own thing. You know, so you got to always kind of be thinking that. But if you just have the mentality of a company worker, you know, a company man, a company woman, it's like now you are accepting the fact that your income will be stagnated forever, you know. And even if you come out of the company, you know, with a fat chunk of money, you know, you're going to be behind the times in terms of skills and different things, and where the company technology is going, because I guarantee your company is not keeping up with that on all fronts. So just keep in mind, you know, when you have hit that ceiling, and when you hit that ceiling, it's not a big deal, but you want to already plan for that. You want to plan for when you're going to hit it, so you will know how to be able to make a decision, move quickly, and to find out where your next money is. Hey, listen, my name is Starsky Inspires. Hey, this is Middle Class Mindset. How to create a simple plan that will help you maximize your time with the company. Hey, I hope you got something out of this. Hey, listen, like and share, you know, if you feel the need to, you know, but if you've seen this video and you digging this, stick with me. I got more like this. Hey, see you in future episodes. All right, catch you later.